Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Let's Learn. So today we are going to learn body movements in which I will tell you that how our body moves, what is our body made up of and the names of some bones present in our body. Skeletal system. The framework of the bones in our body is called the skeleton. The skeleton is made up of bones and muscles. A human body has 26 bones. Now, what are bones? They are the rigid structure that forms the skeletal system. They are mainly made up of calcium. Some functions of bones are that it gives shape to our body, it protects the delicate internal organs, and it helps us to move. Some major types of bones are skull, limbs, girdles, rib cage, and backbone. Let's study them all in detail. Skull. The bones of the skull are the hardest of all the bones. It protects the very important internal organ, brain. It is made up of 22 bones. All the bones in the skull are fixed and immovable. Backbone. It forms the main axis of the skeleton. It is made up of 33 small bones known as vertebrae. The small bones join together to form a strong column called the vertebral column. This bones allows us to bend and twist our back. Rib cage. There are two pairs of 12 thin and curved bones called ribs. The 12 pairs are joined together to the backbone at the chest back. So here you can see this is our backbone and all the ribs are going and joining the backbone. It protects the internal organs like the heart and lungs. Limbs. The limbs divide the arm into shoulder and elbow and the legs in thigh and knee. There are two pairs of limbs. Forelimbs comprises of the arm region in the human body as shown in this picture, and hind limbs that comprises of the legs region in the human body shown in this picture. The last one is girdles. It is a bony structure to which the limbs of vertebrae are attached. Again, there are two pairs of girdles, the shoulder girdles and the hip girdles. Arms are joined to the shoulder girdles, as shown in this picture, and the legs are joined to the hip girdles. Now let's see the name of the bones in a skeleton diagram. At the very top, we have the skull. Then we have our rib cage, which protects the heart and the lungs. Then we have our backbone, or we can call it as spine. Then in the girdles, we have our pelvic girdles. Then in the forelimbs, the upper arm bone is called the humerus. And we have two bones in our lower arm. The one is known as radius and the second one is ulna. In our hand, at the very top, we have carpals. Then in the middle, we have metacarpals and the finger bones are known as phalanges. In the hind limbs, the upper legs are known as femur. Again, we have two bones in the lower legs. One is tibia and the second is fibula. These two bones are joined with the patella bone or the knee bone. Then in the foot, at the very top, we have tarsals. In the middle, we have metatarsals, and the finger of the feet is again known as phalanges. Now, here are some important definitions which you all have to understand. Cartilage. It is a tissue that is not as hard as a bone and can be easily bent. It cushions the bones and is present between two bones so that the bones doesn't rub together. It is present on the upper part of the ear and on the front part of the nose. Ligament. It is a tissue that joins a bone to a bone, and tendon joins a muscle to a bone. Like in this diagram, you can see the gray structure is the ligament which is joining this bone to this one. And here, this gray structure is a tendon which is joining a muscle to a small bone. Muscles. It is a fibrous tissue that has the ability to contract and bring in a living being. Muscles always works in pair of two. Muscles can either contract or relax. When one of them contracts, the bone is pulled in that direction. The other muscle of the pair relaxes. To move a bone in the opposite direction, the vice versa of the same rule is applied. A muscle can only pull, it can never push. Joints. Joints are the places where two parts of the body seem to be joined together, like elbow, shoulder, knee are called joints. We can bend or rotate our body in places where joints are present. There are three types of joint: immovable, slightly movable joints, and freely movable joints. With the help of the joints, you can move. So now let's study the types of joint. Movable joints. There are four types of movable joints: hinge joint, pivot joint, gliding joint, and ball and socket joint. Then we have the slightly movable joint. The last, we have the immovable joint, which is also known as fixed joint. So let's study about hinge joint. It is a bone joint that allows movement of the bone in one direction only. That is up and down or back, forth movement. This joint is found in the elbow, fingers, knee, and knee regions of the human body. So this is an elbow region of the human body, and this is the knee region of the human body. Ball and socket joint. It is a joint in which the ball-shaped surface of one rounded bone fits into a cup-like depression of another bone. This joint allows maximum movements in all the directions. It is found in the hip and shoulder region of the human body. This is an image of the hip region of the human body. This is the pelvic bone, and this is a ball and socket joint, and the pelvic bone and the thigh bone is connected with this ball and socket joint. Pivot joint. It allows only rotation. This joint is present where our neck joins the head. This joint enables us to move our heads up, down, right, and left. Here, the pivot joint is present. Gliding joint. This type of joint allows bones to glide over each other, providing little movement in all the directions. Gliding joints are found between the wrist, here, and the carpals, and between the ankle and the tarsals, over here. So here in the hand, it is present between the wrist and the carpals. In the legs, they are present between the ankle and the tarsals. Fixed joint. This joint does not allow any movement between the bones. The bones are interlocked with each other, preventing movement of any kind. This type of joint is found in our upper jaw and skull. Here, the skull cannot move at all, and so we have the fixed joint present in our skull. Slightly movable joint. This type of joint allows very little movement due to the presence of flexible cartilage between the ends of the bones. This joint is found between the adjacent vertebrae in the backbone to allow only slight movement. Here in this picture, these are the ribs and this is the cartilage, which allows a little movement. So that's all for today. I hope you learned something new. Meet you all in the next video. Till then, take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Thank you and bye-bye.